are recording. You said fake arrest, so I had to start a new one for this. Cause I know what handcuffs feel like. For some reason, I'm just drawn to that kind of jewelry.
Well, you don't know what invisible ones feel like. They're very freeing. You can still move your arm up in the air and fist pump and
You
all
know,
this and that.
next time I get arrested, I'm gonna ask for those. I wonder if it's
Ask for the AOC special cuffs.
yeah. I wonder if it's an upgrade. Like, do you have to pay for it or
Well, well, then you had the one woman who put her hands behind her back and walked away without a cop there.
yeah, yeah. I wish I had that option too, because I would have kept going. It's a usually
What a goddamn farce.
yeah. Usually I hear that click, and
Well,
then
you know that,
follow me.
yeah, and they're kind of tight and it hurts. The beauty part is you can go out there and yell slogans and then get fake arrested so that no one knows you're not actually doing anything. It's perfect.
Well, you'll see, she hasn't literally done nothing.
Actually, I think she has to do a couple more things that we have done nothing.
Yeah, yeah. When I saw that, I like how at the end you see her arm go up, and I'm thankful that you got to see that part because she is almost blocked, and people were believing she was arrested in handcuffs.
There's another part of that though right before where she does the same thing but quickly. Like I think she realized it quicker. And then the second one, I
Oh,
think she thought she was out of the line of cameras.
oh, she almost was. I mean, what? So what does she have now? She has that. She almost nearly died being 500 miles away from the capital. Um,
She was
and oh,
assaulted by that comedian.
oh yeah, the juicy booty. And then there's also the one where she's looking at an empty parking lot, but because of the angle of the camera, she was trying to pretend she was looking at a bunch of migrant kids held in their Obama cages.
Oh yeah, the fake tears.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean,
They
I
were
get
drinking. They were drinking out of toilets. However, we just damn it, we didn't get a picture of that. We did get a picture of her crying outside though.
yeah. And the thing is I know what she's talking about when she says the toilet thing because
Yeah, the sinks are above the
it's
toilets.
above the back end of it. You're not drinking
Yeah.
toilet water. It it's just ridiculous. God, at least I hope you're not, because one time I was really hungover when they got me, and I was drinking out of it. Not the toilet water, but
Well, that's what you thought anyway.
yeah. Hey, when you're that parched, sometimes I'm like the most. I'm the most non-violent, probably overall easy to get along with person I know, and yet I've probably been arrested more than a bunch of assholes have. It's always something stupid though. Um,
Yeah, but at least you were actually arrested.
yeah, yeah. You know, I get what you're saying with that, but I don't feel that way.
No, I understand. I'm just saying. You talk about being arrested. You were actually arrested.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
weren't just, hey, put. Oh, and then her big excuse is, well, that's what you're supposed to do when you comply with officers. No, no, you're supposed to put your hands in the air.
yeah. Well, you listen to see what they say, and
Putting
usually
it
that's
behind your
it.
back is probably gonna get you tased.
Yeah, I've had the turnaround. Um, I've been outside of stirrups. I've had the just thrown up against the wall. That's always a fun
Did you
one.
see somebody? There's a clip of Reno 911 where they come on this girl and she's laying. She's obviously stoned or drugged up, whatever. She's laying on the ground, and Dangle's like, "So what's the problem? I was murdered. Oh, you were murdered." They put AOC's face on that girl.
No, I gotta see that. I actually, I never watched Reno 911, and I love everyone who's in it.
Oh, the first, 6, 7 seasons, whatever. Of course, it went too long,
But
but
yeah.
that is classic stuff. You know how I know you're not murdered? Well, you're sitting here and you're alive.
It's
So see, yeah, sometimes the internet is awesome.
I don't understand how people can like people like, Bernie or Biden or Kamala
Well,
or
but
anything.
Bernie fooled a lot of people into thinking that he was gonna make change, and then he did absolutely nothing. He knuckled under just like everybody else does.
Well, he's a politician, yeah.
Of
But
course, career politician. It was gonna happen.
actually I can
But
even rephrase what I was gonna say. I get why people like particular politicians. They're all dirty as hell.
of
But
course,
but why anyone backs their horse, no pun intended, but I like where I'm going, with AOC. I just don't get it. She's insulting to everyone.
she was one of them. She was hip. She was, with it. She was one of the people. She was gonna change everything. Yeah, right.
She hasn't done squat. But yet
Nope. Well, there.
I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I give her credit for running and winning. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't hard. She barely got any votes in the area because nobody went out and voted. But she
She's
got
all. Well,
re-voted in.
She had more votes than Kamala did in her district, and she's vice president.
Well, Kamala, that's another one too. I mean, Jesus, she wasn't even a 2020 candidate. She bowed out before 2020 hit. And then the crap she said to Biden. Why did he pick? Well, I know why he picked her because he had to hit the check boxes. God
Oh yeah.
forbid you take anybody because of their track record. Um, I mean, if it was Bill Clinton, I get why he would take Kamala. He likes getting beat
Eh,
blowjobs in
she's
the.
she's not she's not down home farm ugly enough for him.
That's true. You know what? That is true. I do not think Kamala's attractive, but at one time she probably was. She has the structure. You know,
It's
back
hard to
when
look.
her
It's
parents
hard
owned
to
the
look.
slaves.
She might have been, but it was. Oh yeah. Well, hey, hey, hey,
What, Zed?
watch it, watch it. Bringing facts into something like this.
I don't even know what authenticity she is. At least this
She
week.
doesn't. She's whatever she needs to be to sell something at that point.
God, could you imagine? So the so the CDC. I find it funny that Biden all of a sudden has COVID, dementia, and cancer, and it spells out CDC. But
Son of a bitch.
I just thought of that just now, actually. But
Holy cow, you're right.
fuck, I burnt my brain on that one. It
That one, I smell the smoke from here.
yeah,
The
it
burning electrical smell.
I gotta. All right, it's out. It I just I've never wanted a guy to survive so much in my life. It don't get me wrong, I don't wish death on anyone. There's some people that if they got hit by a truck, I wouldn't go save them, but I don't wish them to die, and that includes Biden. It I still think he's ab, just a horrible, horrible human being, a horrible molesting parent, pedophile
You're
piece
just
of
saying that
crap.
because his daughter wrote that book.
Yeah, yep, you are correct.
Now, let me ask you this. I mean, is she reliable? Because I mean, at one time we were told to believe all women, but I think that went to hell.
You know what? You're right. And I was just doing as I was told, and I was believing all women. But
See, no,
maybe
you
I
got
should not
you
believe
have
her.
no, you believe all women. Dot dot dot. As long as they're against the people on the right. So if they're in somebody on the left, they're trash, skank that doesn't deserve the time of day.
You're right. I forgot about that. So yeah,
Watch your
maybe
stuff.
he.
I'm here to get. See, you burned out your brain on the CDC thing. I got to get you back on the path.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so maybe he's not an ancestral pedophile. You know what really sucks for him? If he got COVID, did he lose his smell? I mean,
Start trapping into 10-year-old girls so you can start smelling hair and
that's
make sure he
gotta
gets
be.
it back.
Yeah, that gotta be horrible for him not being able to sniff hair. It
His nose is gonna be like that scene in Wayne's World 2 where the guy has the suck cut on Garth.
yeah, I love that. The I'm kind of curious at how old Jill Biden was the first time she slept with him. Because wasn't she like 15 when she started babysitting for his kids?
Who?
Jill Biden.
Dr. Joe Biden, the the taco,
yeah.
the taco
Yeah.
queen of Washington D.C.
Oh my God, the memes were so good on that. And you know why?
And they were so quick. They were lightning
Yeah,
fast.
I could not send them to you as quick as I was finding them. I missed a couple even too. That's why some were delayed later because I went back and found them. It The funny thing is I don't feel bad about any of this. And I know anyone who's loves Biden's going to get pissed off that hears this. But the reason I don't feel bad is, well, one is true. And the other one is Trump took so much crap for 4 years, got investigated how many times, and still came out clean, and had so
Still
many
getting investigated.
lies that, you know what? A precedent was set for the president. And now we're just following along with it.
Correct. That's why they're. Oh, if the Republicans take over, they're going to investigate Hunter Biden, and now they're all pissed off. Well, you reap what you sow.
Exactly, yes. I mean, Don Jr., I remember someone was like, oh, he's doing all these drugs because he was always, I don't want to say excited or anything. He was always awake and like, so they did it to drugs. I'm thinking to myself, if I got 8 hours of sleep, I could probably speak correctly too. It,
He probably gets more than 8. Probably gets 10.
yeah, I mean, I
What's
just
he got to
don't.
be up for?
My favorite thing too is, well, I have so many favorites. Um, like the whole, this whole LGBT stuff. The Trump is the only president to ever go in running on the fact that he was okay with gay marriage. People forget that
Obama,
Obama was against it.
yeah, we didn't start against it. He used it to get elected, and then he was against it.
Oh, I looked it up. He's on record before it though, saying it
Oh,
also.
really? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. He
He
was
no, he just changed his tune for the split second he needed to. Yeah, it's no,
well.
it's
That I mean,
well documented.
well, documents those can be manipulated and burned and shredded. Hey, Hillary,
That
allegedly,
it's fun.
not so allegedly.
What I think's funny is all the Secret Service texts that got deleted, and all these lefties are on they're now when I say lefties, I mean the psychopaths. Just like there's righty psychopaths.
Oh, yeah,
I'm in the middle, but I'm to the right, but I'm in the middle, and I think there's normal people in the middle on the left also. But
of
when you
course.
get but it's all a circle. So when you get to the extremes, you're actually the same person. So lefties, I'll just say the extremes. I won't even say left and right. But the extremes from the left that are all pissed off about Secret Service losing these texts and they should have them because of Trump. Why'd he get rid of them? So someone was posting shit online today on Twitter about how um, that the Secret Service people are getting um, they're getting lawyers and shit. And I'm like, well, damn it, nobody liked that particular one because I was going to read it to. Oh, wait, here it is. So I replied back. I go, if the missing texts show they conspired against the president, they would probably be scrambling for console. Because nobody ever brought up the fact that maybe those missing texts actually were texts that were against the president at the time. And
Good.
it's amazing how nobody's fucking replied to that comment. Because if I make comments on Twitter, you'd be amazed how many extreme lefties are up my a hole.
Well, remember, these stuff only goes one way.
Yeah. They're,
Hillary didn't delete 1,500 emails 4 years ago. That's not a big deal, but this is a huge deal.
That's another thing. They're like, oh, I want to see Ivanka, or not Ivanka, whatever the Trump daughter's name. I want to see her email because she sent an email from her Gmail account, I guess, and they're
Hmm.
not supposed to do that. And far as I heard, she complied completely with what they did and admitted to what happened. But there's people
Yeah.
that want to be like, well, I want to see what it is. Well, first of all, you don't have that right to see what that is.
Hey, guess what? If there'd have been anything juicy in there, you'd know what was in it.
No kidding, but no question. So I like to get on there and go, well, if you think you should see that, then you also disagree with Hillary smashing a server, right? It's just crickets.
Of course.
Yeah. Then I got one guy who tagged in the FBI. He just freaked out at me, and then he talked about shooting the president, Trump, and I'm like, whoa. I go, well, yeah. I go, this is escalating beyond what I want. I think you have me confused with someone else because he's saying stuff like too, like for the last 10 years you've been saying COVID doesn't exist. I'm like, dude, I've been on Twitter for like 2 years.
10 years. Well,
Yeah, it's he was nuts, and then he ended up blocking me. I took screen grabs of everything just in case. Yeah, he was. I get some nutballs. I get people that I'll say something and they come back at me, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I didn't see it from that point of view. Okay, and I'll even say to them, I'm like, hey, good. They'll give me the source or something where they got their info. Um, or I had one with a gun one the other day, and they gave me their info, and I looked it up. I'm like, well, this is per capita, so you can't count that, and it's including accidental gun deaths and suicides. That is not gun violence. You can't include that either. It's I mean, you can include it for certain things, but in our particular argument, it didn't. They were numbers that shouldn't have been included. And other people jumped in also saying, yeah, you're an idiot, your reports suck. And finally, I got to a point where I'm like, you know what? We're not agreeing. This is my last communication with you. Bye. And he kept saying crap, and I just didn't respond. It's an insane world, but I'd have to say between the left and the right, because there's crazies on both. The left is the most vile, will hurt you violently people in the world, while saying Republicans are, and they
mhm.
put stuff on there like saying all these things, and they go, "This is a Republican," and I'm looking at it going, "Wait a second, that's a Democrat stance. That's a Democrat stance. That's a Democrat stance." It's and once in a while
Yep.
I'll see a list and I'll see one and go, oh yeah, that is a right stance. I'm not okay with that either. But
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's crazy to think I voted for Clinton twice too. Not Hillary.
Are you?
Not Hillary.
Bill would be not even a lefty anymore.
Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah, kind of like Kennedy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I think Kenny was borderline anyway back then. Yet.
yeah, he probably was. I think his brother even more so.
Robert or Ted?
Robert. Oh, Ted. Ted, don't get me started on Ted. My God, could you imagine if Trump had a dead chick in his trunk that he let die? Wait, do I have the right Kennedy?
Yes, that was Ted.
Yeah, that was Ted. Isn't there a William Kennedy too? Oh, that's his
I
son, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't.
The Kennedy family goes two ways. There's
I
the
mean that tree is got many mutated roots.
yeah, it does. There's the chubby effed up version of the Kennedys that nobody wants to admit exist, and then there's
Yes.
the good looking ones that are cursed. It yeah. I heard something interesting today though that I never thought about, but it kind of made sense that it could be something. And it's just a conspiracy theory. It might not be anything. But
Hey, those have been
somebody,
coming true lately a lot.
well, that's true. It somebody said they go, did you know the mystery bullet was actually another bullet going off from the Secret Service when they dove over? And I'm like, you know what? I could easily see that happening. It was an accidental discharge as they were diving over and stuff.
Could be.
Yeah, I mean, if it's true, I'd be like, okay. If it's not true,
Well, why didn't Kennedy just go all John Wick Trump and grab the wheel and pull the bullet out of the air and throw it into somebody else's neck?
that that so the left insane people, they're still posting that like, oh, he grabbed the Secret Service and grabbed the wheel. He was trying to take over. I'm like, you seriously believe that McDonald's eating ketchup throwing bastard reached over and grabbed the steering wheel?
Who, by the way, for 4 years, he's feeble. He's got these small hands. He's
Yeah.
pathetic. And all of a sudden, he's got these giant bear mitts that can just grab a Secret Service agent, push him down, grab the steering wheel, and with his third hand, apparently, grab the other Secret Service agent and push him down. Yeah,
They believe it though. That's
of
the
course, because they want to. They don't believe it.
you're right. They want to believe it happened. It just blows my mind. I love all the memes on that too, where it shows like it's not John Wick. I don't know what movie it's from, but it's like a fighting. It looks like the Deadpool fighting scene, but it's not Deadpool, where he's just kicking everyone's ass in the car, and it's just
Yeah.
Trump's like still 2D face on it, and it just changes once in a while. I
If
love
if there
those.
was any merit to this, they wouldn't have gotten the chick who heard it fourth hand. They would have gone to the person that experienced it.
Yeah, I mean, she was the definition of hearsay. How do you that is the lunacy of the left is they just hear something and they believe it.
If I was a judge overthrowing that, of course, you'd have to be, you know, non-biased. I'd be like, you're bringing her in, and she's like the fourth hand. No, 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 no. Done. You
Yeah.
bring in somebody that was in that car, or drop this line.
Well,
Because everything else is just hearsay. Then it's speculation. There's no truth here.
from my understanding, the Secret Service debunked her right away.
Of course they did, but
And
then they had to smear them. Those people were all fans of Trump and all this and that. Of course they were. Of course they were. And the one Secret Service agent, he was a liar. Really? He's a liar?
yeah, but tomorrow if he said something nice about Biden, he'd be a
Well,
hero.
they'd be right on him.
Yeah. I like the CIA operative memes where it shows the guy all excited going when you call in your CIA operative to go do a shooting, and then the next image goes when he gets taken out in 15 seconds by a civilian with a 9 mil or whatever, and it shows him just all like depressed. I love
Yeah.
those things because they're comparing the guns now between them too, and they all have the same damn guns, and they're not cheap guns, and they're like, where are they getting all these?
Well, it's like all the FBI agents that were at the January 6th thing.
Oh my God, yeah. What the hell? Or the Antifa dude that's literally on camera showing his face and there's witnesses showing that he was putting Trump stuff on outside before going in.
Hmm.
He spent what? A couple hours in jail and they let him go?
Yep.
That's insane. It's all a dog and pony show just pissing everyone's money away.
They
It's
want their pound of flesh, and they're going to do whatever they can to get it.
yeah, somebody got upset about something Laura Boebert or whatever her name is said about government money is actually our money, not government doesn't actually have money or anything. And it was amazing how many people attacked her. And I made a comment on there going, all politicians are crooked and they're spending our money to line their own pockets. How are we not all agreeing on this? Of course, nobody crickets on that too.
Yeah, well,
And
naturally.
I like to.
Well, it's
I'm normally a dick and antagonizing people, but once in a while I like to throw a little logic out there just to see if anyone responds.
just like any shooting that's not a white male. Tossed to the side. Except Uvalde, because now they're just ripping on these idiot cops that fucked it up.
Yeah, that was a fuck up.
Almost to the point where it had to be on purpose.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that's another guy. He had helmet. He had two rifles, a handgun, which the handgun was illegal. He had ammo, and my understanding is he had a magazine or clip for every round of ammo he had. And
You
somebody was adding up how much it was, and there's no way this guy had that kind of money. It kind of makes you wonder. And maybe he did. Maybe he saved it up.
stole it somehow or got it. Yeah, whatever.
But I really am wondering how things are being funded.
Well, where was the fucking outrage over the guy that wanted to kidnap and kill Kavanaugh? No outrage, nothing.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
that was a
thank
great
God the guy
story.
turned himself in and came to his senses at the last second. Hell, there was people on the left actually tweeting out they were rooting for him.
Yeah, yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, but
Well,
that's totally normal. That's okay.
well, and how about the people? And I'll admit, I didn't see a lot of it, but I did see some. Ivanka Trump, when she died, how many people pounded on
Yeah,
her ass?
disgusting.
She
Disgusting.
hasn't even been married to Trump in how many decades?
He was still a Democrat when they were married.
I don't think he was a Republican until he got elected.
Yeah, but whatever. I'm just saying. Yeah, they loved him back when she was married to him. He was their best friend.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, I mean, what Hillary was one of the people who actually said he should be president. I mean that was obviously before he said that she should be in jail, which I loved. It I don't know. The whole thing's ridiculous. I don't know. There's also that video out there of I don't know if it's U.S. Marshals or it might be ATF. It's probably ATF. They're at the guy's house and his ring camera's recording it, and they're asking to see his guns and stuff so they can mark him off a list.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And and he's complying. If that was me, I mean, I got a shotgun and a 22 around here somewhere. Actually, I know right where it is. I just don't want to say it on here, and because they'll be at my house next. I wouldn't let them in. Not without a warrant. I'm a danger to nobody. It
Well, that's what they want.
Yeah, it's I'm not letting anybody in. They can they can find out about my BB gun.
Oh please, the government in the psycho liberal world, they wouldn't need a warrant or anything. They'd just be able to bust in your house. They'd only be knocking as a courtesy.
Oh, red flag. Why? He cut me off. I think he's violent. Take his stuff away.
They're okay with the Gestapo as long as it's working for them.
Oh yeah, could you imagine if there was a red flag and I found out somebody called the cops on me and had my guns confiscated? First of all, I'd be wondering why, because it'd take an hour to get to my guns because they're so locked up and buried. But I would actually be a little concerned that I was being disarmed by the person. So if I found out who it was, I would actually probably just turn around and call a red flag on them because I would be concerned that they had me disarmed because they planned some ill
For
will
a
against
reason.
me. Because why else do it? Unless you want to disarm them for personal reasons. I mean, that's an
I
issue
mean,
in
it
the
would make
red.
sense. Yeah.
That's an issue in the red flag right there. Someone can use it to disarm someone so that they can have ill intent against them. And I don't ever hear anyone talk about that. I hear about people talking about trampling on the rights and stuff, which I agree with, but I don't ever hear anyone saying this is a legal way to disarm. Well, if it was legal, if it was passed, it'd be a legal way to disarm someone so that you could attack them.
Because they want that.
That's insane.
Just like how California now is telling you that you can't run your air conditioner, you got to live in your basement that you don't have, and you have to, what they say? Oh, you can't use a gas stove or electric stove anymore, whatever it was. Can't use a gas stove, you got to use electric.
You better get an electric car though.
Get your electric car that, you know, we have to dig into the earth to get the lithium out of.
Yeah.
And we don't, and guess what? I don't think there's solar vehicles that are digging that hole.
Oh God, no. It's African or South American children,
They're
which
just tossing
then
into the, instead
yeah,
of coal, we're using, well, human bodies.
and then they're shipping it to China where they use children slave labor also to do the rest of it.
Well, we
It
just shipped them a whole bunch of our gas while our prices were sky high.
That's true. And the
Well, but they're
Democrats blocking that from happening any further.
and their gas prices are coming down, so Biden gets the credit. But when they were being rising, the president doesn't control the gas prices.
I thought this was Putin's lowering.
No, no, no. It was Putin. President doesn't control the gas prices when they go up, but he better get the goddamn credit when they go down. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, there's someone who's posting on Twitter every day. They're like 30 days of lower gas prices, and I'm thinking, and I did type back to him. I think I typed back the other day. I'm like, hit me up when it hits $2 lower.
Yeah,
And I think I put on another post too. I'm like, don't punch me every night for a month and give me two black eyes, and then one night only give me one black eye and tell me how much of a favor you did for me. I'm screwing up how I'm saying it now,
yeah.
but it
Wow, 4.99. We are blessed.
yeah, that's abusive behavior. When
It
you
is.
when
It
you
is.
pound
Yes.
someone into the ground and then you just don't pound them as much the next day and say, "Hey, I did you a favor." It's that just blows my mind. I know I rip on the left a lot. Well, mainly because they're all idiots. But it's
Well, it's so easy too.
oh my god, yeah. But I mean, I truly
Well, the funny.
believe all politicians are evil, right and left.
Yeah, but right now the right can do nothing. They have no power.
That's the other thing. They're like, "Oh, well, it got blocked here." I'm like, "You guys run everything right now." And now we
You don't
got
have everybody on your side. That's your problem.
my favorite are the memes now too, where it shows Biden in a yelling position and it shows the data when he said it. He goes, "Only a dictator rules by executive order." That guy's written so many damn executive orders, and now he's talking about doing another energy climate one.
Of course. Well, he's got to do something, right? Well, now it's going to be delayed because now he's sick.
That's
He's got
intentional. I am worried he's gonna die.
no. He want he'll fade off. They'll remove him from office before that happens.
You know what we get? So remember when he got elected, and I was claiming that they would do 2.5 years because then Kamala can finish and still run two more times.
Yeah.
But I was thinking they would do the 25th Amendment. This could be that.
Sh-
Oh,
sh-
she won't get elected. Don't get me wrong.
I was gonna say there's no way in hell.
But at the time they planned this, in my opinion, purely my opinion, speculation, when they when this when my theory was coming out right away at the beginning, I think they thought she was reelectable.
Yeah, no, that's she's not electable at all.
No. Now,
I
if
mean, if they run her
Biden
out
goes
there,
away,
congratulations, you
well,
could beat her.
oh
Just
yeah.
just going out there right now. I guess when I'm running. Well, he's got my vote. Shit.
Oh, you meant that way. I thought you said I could beat her with a stick. It
No, no, no.
the if she became the president, would Pelosi be the vice president? Or
Yes,
at least in that position. It probably wouldn't be that
yes.
title, but maybe it would be that title.
No, she would be the vice president because she's speaker, and they would just move up, whatever. They move up a slot.
Who's after her? Schumer?
M-
No. Is it
m-
that freak with the
might
long hair, that dude with the long hair who wears the dress and the
no,
Army?
it might be the turtle. It might be McConnell.
Oh, I think you're right.
Which ugh.
So it doesn't really get any better. There's some
You have to go down like 10 spots to even start getting. You got to hit Rand Paul before it starts getting better.
I'd be all right with that.
I would right now. Hey, I'll watch him feed Fauci his lunch every fucking day. Yeah, let's do it.
My God, that guy is gone. It's there's people speculating the reason he's retiring when Democrats are out is because he doesn't want to get
Oh,
investigated.
he's gonna get investigated anyway. It's gonna happen.
Oh God, yeah. I that's one of the main reasons I don't think I'd vote for Trump in the primaries just because I think he's too old. But if he made it through the primaries, I'd vote for him for president. And because
Oh God, yeah.
he'll go over after anything. I do think there should be an age gap. There's no reason
There has to be.
Biden should have never been allowed. The people should actually feel bad for that poor bastard because he doesn't know what's going on. It's I want to say he's probably a nice guy, but then you start hearing all this stuff about oh wait we don't believe his daughter even though she's female because
Nope. Believe women only in certain circumstances.
I mean I'm not a perfect father, but I'm pretty sure my kids aren't holding their cock with a gun cocked with their finger on the trigger and taking video and pictures of everything they do that's illegal.
You know, the Bush girls, they were in a bar when they shouldn't have been. So this is the same thing.
You know what? I ripped on them for it too. The one of them skipped class to go to a basketball game and got caught and failed the test
Oh
for the
my
class.
God, the evilness.
I thought that was bad. So you can imagine how I feel about Hunter.
That is a PG movie bad compared to triple X rated bad.
Well, you know what? The Bush daughters, the one actually that got caught, she's actually kind of turned out to be kind of a level-headed normal person. I'll see her in interviews once in a while, and she talks like a normal person.
Okay, regular sort of teenage rebellion is one thing.
Yeah,
What Hunter was doing is completely.
and he's not even a
Off the
teenager.
reservation. No, he's an old man.
What blows my mind is his brother passed away, so Hunter takes over the wife duties, which that's creepy as it is, then cheats on her by banging a stripper and having a kid with the stripper, and then doesn't pay any child support.
Yeah, that's okay
That
though.
there alone, take all the other stuff out of it. That there alone is insane. I know people who have gone to jail for not paying child support. It's and they didn't have money. They were in dire needs. I'm not saying they were good people. I'm just saying I know people that went to jail for.
This whole white privilege thing. Fuck that. No, there's rich privilege, and then there's everything else.
Oh God, yeah.
You tell me Hunter Biden wasn't you or me, we'd be in jail forever
Oh my God.
with half the amount of evidence that they got.
We might be talking through video like this, but it would be to a courtroom.
Yes,
And I would be
in a
wearing
glass
red.
like box
Yeah.
with Hannibal Lecter masks on and shit.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. It's
And personally, I think the media should be held accountable because they're compliant with this shit.
so
They told people online when the election was going on if they talked about this Hunter Biden story, they would be subject to penalties. So everybody stopped, and the media fell right in line. If Woodward and Bernstein had been told that, imagine.
Woodward and
Don't you dare go to Watergate. Don't you dare report on this. They'd be like, fuck you. We're going in. Kiss my ass. No, not journalists these days. Okay, establishment, we're on your side.
my understanding with Woodward and Bernstein is they almost didn't even get that stuff published because they couldn't get someone to go on record, even though it would still be anonymous. They couldn't
Sure.
get the other person to go on record, and they're like, if you can't get another record, we're not putting this out. They had to
Hmm.
convince the person. Nowadays, they're just like, well, my roommate's cousin's sister's dog's, cat's, pet's boyfriend said he touched his left nutsack.
Bang. Put him in jail. Well,
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
insane.
January 6th is all about.
Oh, that's so much hearsay and crap. And the funny thing is, though, it's just hearings. It's not really anything legal. Um, at least I don't believe it is, unless something changed since I've been watching. Because I stopped watching it. At a certain point, I'm like, this is a dog and pony show. This is ridiculous.
When they hired a ABC News producer before it even started, I'm like, there you go.
It's
If
so
this was
bad.
real, this shit would need a producer. You would just go out there, say it, and be done. Well, we got a producer. Nope, you're done. I don't believe it's fucking word out of your mouth.
That's why I only watch. I don't want to say religiously because that sounds fanatically wise, but I do see almost all of them because they just come on. I do watch Gutfeld because he's funny. Even if I
He
don't
is,
agree
yeah.
with him, he is funny and he's quick. And I like Titus on there. As a wrestling fan, I liked him anyways. That's actually kind of what brought me in. I'm like, freaking Brodus Clay is on here, and then I find out his name's Titus. It
It's whatever you want it to be.
and then Kat, she's just hilarious. I like how he always rips on her and stuff. And they have good banter. You took three similar people that were on the left, and they talk to each other that way. They'd be suing each other. They're just hilarious how they rip on each other constantly. And then their guests, they take it too. Like these are professional guests, and Gutfield says shit about them, and I'm like, that's awesome. It's
There's
that's
a reason he's got like the number one show on night at night,
yeah, isn't that
and it's like,
crazy?
and it's not like, not even close.
It's a cable show. It's on Fox News, which you know a lot of people freaking hate,
Well,
and
what is it? Tucker? More Democrats watch Tucker than watch CNN.
yeah, because they want to be pissed off.
No, because Tucker's anti-war. He's where they should be on some things
Well, that is true, but they all hate him because he's on
because
Fox
he's on
News.
Fox News and he does say once in a while some stupid shit, but whatever.
Oh yeah, he says stupid shit all the time, but he says some intelligent shit too.
Yeah.
It's that's the thing is everybody has a broken clock moment, but nobody can see that because they just want to be angry all the time. You know
When you
where
got corporate shills and late night TV, which I haven't watched any late night shows since
I don't. I think Conan might have been the
Conan.
last
Yeah,
one.
Conan. But I see clips on Jimmy Dore stuff and other places. Like these guys are just bought and paid for shills.
Oh God, yeah. Jimmy Fallon, he's. I know you don't like him because he used to laugh at himself on Saturday Night Live, but he was
He
one of
ruined
those.
every goddamn skit he was in. Even if they weren't funny, he ruined every goddamn skit because he thought he was just so fucking hilarious that, oh, I got a ho ho laugh. Like there's one that I legitimately like that they broke on. It's that him and I think Sean Hayes are working in that really exclusive clothing store.
Oh yeah, I like those. And Sean Hayes would always, or no, was it Sean Hayes? No, it was
Sean
that
Hayes was like the host in this one because Will Ferrell comes in and he's got that tiny little cell phone and they're done and like okay that one's actually funny.
I like. There was also the one guy though. He plays on a show Barry on HBO now.
Oh, Hater, yeah.
I used to hate Hater. I have grown to
Oh, he's
appreciate him
talented
more.
as hell. He's talented as hell.
But whenever he would lose his shit, he'd always do that little like gay like he's pretending to giggle, but he's
Yes,
recovering from losing his shit. I think I would enjoy
but
hanging out with that
he
guy.
didn't break a third as much. Fallon broke every time
No,
without
Fallon,
fail.
he couldn't get a sentence out without laughing his ass off.
That's why they put him on Weekend Updates. Like just here.
And the funny thing is with Fallon, I don't dislike Fallon. I do agree with you. He just broke way too much. But for the Tonight Show, I thought he was okay until this last year, and he started folding and he started saying more and more Jimmy Kimmel type shit. And I'm like, oh, you're just. I just. There's another one. How did Jimmy Kimmel turn out like this and Adam Carolla turn out like this? And then they're still friends, which that part I respect. But Jimmy Kimmel's a douchebag.
Yo, he's always been a douchebag too, even when he was on Ben Stein's Money.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. I never watched
Yeah,
it.
I watched that. And then the Man Show. You want to talk about some racist shit, sexist shit?
Yeah,
Should we open up
I
that
approved of
closet?
all of it.
Should we open up that closet?
It's he pretends like that crap didn't happen.
But you know what? It's fine. It's a joke. It was funny. But now you stand there on your fucking soapbox, looking down your damn nose at everybody because you're a billionaire. Yeah, you live like the rest of us.
Yeah, he
You
has
sit,
no clue.
you work for 2 hours a goddamn day,
I
and you want me to relate to you, you fucking asshole?
I think the most work he does is putting like onion drops or pepper on his fingers to make
Oh,
his
get
stomach
those
cry.
crocodile tears? Yeah,
Yeah, actually, he's a big enough pussy. I think he's crying. It
could be.
not that I'm saying it's a bad thing to cry. It's just he's a pussy. It who's the other one too? He is just I can't even stand looking at him. He's just
Oh,
got
Colbert.
yes. He's got that smug fucking look that I'm just like, oh my god. It's like you almost gotta wonder if these guys go home and look in the mirror and just sit there and go, oh my god, I'm the best. I nailed it tonight.
Oh, they look at their bank account and be like, "You did well."
Yeah, that's true. I think Colbert does both. I think
You have dancing fucking vaccine needles
yeah.
with the big Pfizer banner on the bottom of your fucking screen, and I'm gonna take you seriously. Get out of my face.
Yeah, and all of a sudden now there's blood clots in everybody. Not
Oh,
saying they're
remember when
related.
remember when this was being talked about and you were kicked off of Facebook for even suggesting such a thing? It's affecting menstruation, it's affecting blood clots, it's affecting heart disease, it's affecting newborns. That is all boogeyman bullshit.
I I lost what I was gonna say. You had me going on Facebook. My Facebook got hacked and someone put porn on it and it got shut down. Like
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me that.
yeah, I'm officially deactivated and they charged me $250.
What'd they charge you that for? Facebook's
Apparently, I took
free.
out some ads afterwards. I don't know how I took out ads and they gave them to me when I don't have an account, but so I'm fighting that right now. But yeah, so buy digital because or buy physical because every digital
Yes.
game I bought on my Oculus Rift, which
Yeah.
in all fairness, there is no physical for that. My Oculus Rift requires a Facebook account or Oculus Quest, not Rift, Oculus Meta Quest, whatever the fuck it's called. It now they are ending that, thank God. But yeah, my Star Wars games I was playing, all gone. I'll have to rebuy them, which I won't do because I have another VR set. I'll just do it on my PlayStation instead. I just really like the fact that it was wireless. But
So the metaverse thing was up and running for like 3 hours before some woman got sexually assaulted on it.
yeah, sorry. I, I think it's called Horizons. It's like Meta Horizons or something. You don't have legs and crap, and you bump into people. It happens. It's there's so many people, and then some of them you can get guns, you shoot each other. Like it's fun. It actually really is fun, and
So where does the line stop?
well that's a
She wasn't assaulted. Her
no.
avatar was.
I
So
don't
where's
I don't believe her avatar even was. I think someone bumped into her.
okay, let's say it happens. Somebody walks up behind her, grabs her avatar's tits. Where does the legality come into play?
How would she even know? It's not like you feel it. There's no haptic sensors feeling back. If there was, I'd strap that stuff to my dick.
Well, they do have that. They do have that thing. I saw a commercial for it where it's a vest, and you can hug. the vest, and that person feels the hug.
Yeah,
So
for a
that's all they got to do is
PC.
corrupt that technology into this, and all of a sudden you're feeling up a chick in a bar in a metaverse.
I think that's for PC though. I don't think the
Come
wireless like
on,
that.
like they can't, like someone isn't trying to hack that right now,
Oh,
trying to make that work.
I'm all for it.
I'm just saying, where does the legality come into play?
You kidding me? I give Angie one. I have one. We could both be at work and be like, slip the goggles on.
Put on the stuff. I'm ready. Why don't you just come upstairs and really do it? No time.
Yeah. Well, I meant when I'm at the office. I like to keep it creepy.
Do not disturb. I'm online.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Rich got his goggles on again. Stay away
He's
from
got
the
his
queue.
he's got his goggles on and his drool bib, so this is gonna be bad.
Yeah.
And he's not wearing a drool bib around his neck, if you understand.
I'm having a heart attack. Hopefully, it's not one of those blood clots from getting the. Oh wait, they're not related. Never mind.
Oh no, not even close. Just
So I got the vaccines, but I didn't get the boosters, and I'm not
no,
going.
I didn't get the boosters. I'm not gonna either.
It the
I'm not getting stuck every 3 weeks because they got some new thing.
yeah, yeah, screw that noise. It but so like the other day, my right arm started turning a little bit purple, kind of like if you're laying on it for too long,
Oh yeah.
and it gets that like that spotty purple. But I was standing up. Angie or not, Kendall and I were at St. Vincent de Paul's looking at stuff, and all of a sudden I go to her, I go, my right arm's tingling. Thank God it's not my left. And I looked at it, and it was like that. And so now, ever since I've heard that blood clots are not related to the vaccine at
Of
all,
course not. Not
not at
no, no,
all,
not at all. Not even
I'm
close.
freaking out every time I get a tingle in my hand. So now, just talking about it, I'm getting tingles in my left hand. Now,
Well,
obviously, it's mental.
that's psychosomatic. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just freaking out all the time. It's I wish it's one of my big regrets. I'm not anti-vax. I have all my vaccines. I regret getting that vax
So do
so.
I.
The first time I got COVID, which was really early on, it was a cold. The second time, or then I got the vaccine. It wiped the shit out of me. A month later, I got the second one. Wiped the shit out of me. I'd say maybe like 3, maybe 4 months later, maybe even longer, I got COVID, and it took me out. And then just recently, again, and nothing. And that's been over a year since I got the vaccine.
I had the original strain before anybody knew what it was. I was down for 2 days.
Oh, it hit you that hard, huh?
I mean, down. When I say down, I couldn't taste anything, and I was like coughing at night.
Oh yeah.
But 2 days later, it was gone. And then it was like, oh, that's probably COVID. Okay, well,
So no, I have a friend who got it who wasn't vaxxed, and I don't know if you remember him from my birthday, but he was like the big, tattooed like
oh
Jersey
yeah,
Shore dude,
yeah,
Jeremy.
yeah,
Nice guy, just looks like
yeah.
Jersey Shore. And in fact, I'm going out with him soon, and I'll make sure I tease him about that. He said he got it, and he said it just knocked him the hell out. And he's like the picture of health. So I mean, I don't deny it doesn't exist. I seriously question though if the vaccine made any difference because I got
Well, they
so
put the
much
numbers
sicker on
out. They put the numbers out. The last like group, like when Omicron was starting, like there was no difference between unvaccinated and vaccinated with the numbers.
Well, I think the hospitalization deaths aren't they actually worse on vaccinated right now? Which
The hospitalization might be, but you'll never find those out.
I mean, it in a way it makes sense. I do think more people are vaccinated than not. So it would make sense that it would go up, but it shouldn't be going up. That's the thing. It's not a vaccination then.
It's not a vaccine at all. It doesn't stop you from getting it. It doesn't stop you from just transmitting it. It's a shot. It's a flu shot.
Oh, that's what I saw on Twitter today, which I thought was pretty good. Someone was like, "Oh, there's the first case of polio in years in New York City," or I don't know if they said New York or just New York, but the whole state's a shithole.
Who gives a shit? We have a vaccine for it. Stick them.
Well, here's the thing I found funny about it is someone gets on Twitter and starts bitching, going, "Oh, all these anti-vaxxers," which I find funny because people who didn't get the COVID shot aren't necessarily anti-vaxxers. They just didn't trust this one, and I don't blame them. And but somebody got on there and made a point that I didn't think of, and once they said it, it made so much sense. They're like, well, maybe we shouldn't be allowing illegal immigrants into our country since they're not vaccinated. And all of a sudden, it dawned on me, I'm like, oh, son of a bitch, how much you want to bet it was an illegal immigrant that was the one that had polio,
Of course they have. They have Legionnaire's disease. They have polio. They got all this stuff that's been dead for years.
yellow fever,
Yeah,
measles,
yeah.
all that
Because
kind of.
they never had any of these things.
Yeah, so I felt like being a
But
dick and antagonizing, and I just typed back, said, close the border. Nobody's saying anything. Crickets again.
But again, they're going to use this as like a scare tactic. But like monkeypox, it's not going to work because there's a fucking vaccine for polio. Stick 'em, it's done.
Yeah, it's well, better ship them back. I mean,
Yeah, whatever works.
it sounds dickish, I get it, but I'm a firm believer that immigrants should come to the U.S., follow the correct procedures, better their lives if they feel coming here is bettering their life, and otherwise, why would they come here? And do it legally. I'm okay with that. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, who
But
cares?
the ones sneaking over and shit, and then we're supposed to pay taxes on them. You know they're working for cash. It
You know who would absolutely love, love, love to help you out is California. They got lots of space, lots of rich people with disposable cash. Go there.
Yeah, when's that earthquake they've been
Oh wait, they all live behind fucking walls and locked gates. If they want to see a poor person, they will observe them through a powerful telescope.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you and I should open our homes and our wallets to these people because we have all the money.
I'm tempted to sell all my shit and move into a van.
They'll want your van.
Oh no, I just drive away.
They'll find you
I won't be able to afford the gas for it, so I'm curious to see how that goes. I don't know why Biden just doesn't open up the pipeline. I mean, I get it. It wouldn't be open and producing oil tomorrow. But if he would at least start it today within a year or a year and a half,
because he can. He would piss off his environmentalist buddies.
oh, that's losing. You have a handful of loud people who think that's the greatest thing in the world. Freaking Europe is opening up their coal factories again. Germany is opening up their coal factories again because they
Well, you know, if
can't
Germany's
control.
doing it, it's a great idea.
It's a. I'm not saying they've always been top notch on ideas. They've had a few bad ones, but um, hey, like I said, broken clock is right once
Hey,
a day. Well, twice a day if you think about
what I'm going to say is going to get us kicked off, but I'm going to say it.
it.
If Hitler had a D behind his name, they'd be voting for him.
I don't think you can get kicked off for talking facts.
We all know it to be true. If he had a fucking D behind his name, he'd have celebrity support. You can bet your ass.
So what you're saying is I need to post this on Rumble, not not YouTube.
Whatever. I'm just saying, like it's like I'm. Please prove me wrong.
Oh, I think you're right. I mean, Donald Trump Jr. and Hunter Biden, the comparisons prove it.
Yeah,
It's if now I do get that people are like, well, one worked for the government, blah 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 blah, and that's a fair comment to say, but it's not when you really break it down.
did
If
Hunter really work for the government? Did he just get a token job from his dad?
oh, yeah, how many token jobs? I mean, Christ, he
Yeah,
has no experience. He didn't even show up to the job. It
nothing. He was just there for the big guy.
The only reason we're funneling money into the Ukraine right now is Biden's pissed off that his money laundering
Can
is
you
like,
fucking believe they asked for more?
well, yes, yes, because the one politician snuck off with their suitcases packed with U.S. dollars, millions of dollars worth.
That woman was out there the other day asking for guns. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa. You should have $40 billion worth of guns sitting around. What the hell?
Yeah, yeah. Why don't you go ask Afghanistan for him? I think we have a surplus over there.
Yeah, I think we left some behind there. Why don't you go talk to him about it?
Yeah, a guy who wants to rein in gun control, but yet he left one of the largest armies worth of guns. Like
Well,
he
they said
created
they
the
wouldn't.
largest army.
They said they wouldn't go near it.
You know,
Just like they said they wouldn't roll back the women's rights, and then 10 seconds later they're putting all the shit back on them. What? This comes out of nowhere.
oh, there's another one I got crickets on where I made a comment saying they're more screwed now than they have been in the last 20 years with us over there. And the thing is, I did never agreed with that war. I did not like Bush. I always talk bad about Bush. That's how I can say I'm center. And but the truth is, for the 20 years we were over there, they had it pretty damn good compared to how it is today.
Oh, they
Uh,
went right back, and now, yeah, it's hell.
you know who I feel bad for? I feel bad for anyone who's like 22 years, 23 years, hell, 25 years or younger. They don't
Oh,
know what
they
that
didn't
was
know
like.
what that was like. Yeah.
This is a culture shock to them. And then there was videos out there, which I love, were just brushed under the rug, of they were going, pulling people out and shooting them in the street.
You know what? Why don't we exchange a lot of our American women for the Afghanistan women? I think that would be a very eye-opening experience.
You know what? I don't think that's the worst idea. I got a feeling they might appreciate it a lot better.
I bet you them Afghanistan women would come here and they would They'd want to learn, they'd want to be involved, and they would go about their lives.
I mean, I am against the hijab thing where it covers their face completely and they want their ID taken that way. I believe your face should be seen on an ID. It's kind
Yeah,
of the whole purpose of an
the
ID.
purpose of an ID, yes. Just
But
like you couldn't wear a fucking Halloween mask in your picture.
yeah, it's now when I see somebody with a hijab on, I don't think twice of it. I don't give two shits about it. But when it comes to the ID, that's an area I have a problem. Other than that, I have not once ever had anyone who's from overseas push any of their beliefs or anything on me. Now, as
You know,
for
it's funny.
ISIS, that's a different story.
You know, it's funny. The only religious people I've ever had push their beliefs on me are atheists.
Yeah, yeah. Not even agnostic people push their shit on me.
No, I mean I've known a lot of because I worked in a multicultural business, I guess you would say, a building with all kinds of different
Yeah,
religions and stuff.
you live in
Guys
Guam.
wearing the turbans and stuff, and they never stop to lecture me. But atheists will always lecture you no matter where you are.
Yep.
Just like, how do you know you're talking to an atheist or a vegan? Just wait 5 seconds; they're gonna tell you.
Yeah. Look at their bone density. It
Well, a vegan you can tell because they're about to fall over from a light
yeah.
breeze.
They're like how I was before we got on here and I had to go eat some food real quick because I forgot to eat. It you know I'm having a busy day when I forget to eat. It damn you threw me off there too. It's kind of like well Twitter again. Everyone's on there like, "Oh, you took our rights away because your religion, blah blah blah." It had nothing to do with religion. They didn't take anything away. They just gave the power to the state. You don't vote in your Supreme Court. Yeah, you vote for the people who elect them, but you don't vote in your Supreme Court. You can vote for shit now that it's with the state. So vote the way you want. I hope you lose, but vote the way you want. It just blows my mind how all of a sudden the psycho goes to Kavanaugh's house and they're all for it. What did he do? He didn't do anything. He gave you control, the power to vote the way you want. That's all he did. You should be thanking
Oh, that's what? That doesn't sound like a talking point I've heard.
him.
And trust me, I watch clips of Stephen Colbert. I know what I'm talking about.
The guy is a genius.
Brilliant,
Yeah,
brilliant comedian.
yeah. It's I was looking through I think it was Pound Buttons. It was I was going through back when I used to do a video, 2 videos a week, and I would do a video even if it was just a video saying, "Hey, I'm not going to have time to do a video, but here's my video," because I had to do a video. And when I had my emergency appendix surgery, the second time I went in, they actually took it out. I didn't even know I filmed it till later. I my video is me ripping on Colbert doing a horrible job in his bathtub or something of doing his video, and uh, and I watched it back actually not too long ago, and I was laughing about it because I'm like, oh my God, this people still watch him, but this shows how bad he is because in his house he didn't have the professional microphones, he didn't have people writing for him like he usually did. I mean, I'm sure they still wrote for him to an extent, but he didn't have all his stuff and it just showed how useless he was. Like you and I are recording. Your voice sounds good on here. Mine's gonna sound like shit because I'm using a conference puck instead of my earbuds like I normally do. But we're doing this out of slap ass computer stuff I've had for God knows how long. And
And my laptop, which I've had for longer than that, even.
yeah, I remember reformatting that for you. The Bears game
Yep.
where we didn't go to the game, but we still had the hotel and we went out
Yep.
partying. I remember
Yeah.
we let it sit on that slow ass internet in the hotel of downloading all the crap. It but I mean, it just showed that he is. I mean, it was so bad. Those videos were so bad. But I remember actually doing a video on that, ripping on him back then. Even he was, at one time I didn't hate him. I think it was the Daily Show. I don't think he was as
The
annoying
Daily
back
Show was
then.
actually funny.
Yeah, like I like John Stewart. I like Craig Kilborn.
Craig
Um,
Kilborn was good.
yeah, it's a. And then John Stewart, he kind of went off the deep end. He
Jon Stewart has his moments where he's lucid and makes sense, and then the other part of him kicks in.
I like what he's doing for the first responders. He's fighting hard for that. He's not
Yeah.
just saying it. He actually
Yeah.
is fighting for that. I'll always give him credit for that, even though I
Oh
think
yeah.
he does other dumb things. It's kind of like that left and right thing, though, too. It's like when you're on Twitter, the left is so vile towards stuff. Like they can't, if they know you're an R and they're a D, you could say the most logical thing in the world that they agree with, and they will tell you how wrong you are and how much of an asshole you are about it. It
Oh, you can say anything on it. The sky is blue. Fuck you. It's not blue. Eat a dick. Okay.
It's a hole with ozone. What? That has nothing to do with what we're
I
saying.
don't know what the hell you're talking about. Climate change, Bob. Yeah, okay. Thanks for all the buzzwords and talking points you're gonna spew at me.
I could.
Ever actually have a thought of your own that isn't regurgitated garbage?
I I never get anyone who likes any of my stuff on Twitter unless I'm saying it to somebody else. Like if I make an original tweet, nobody likes my stuff. It's and I'm not that creative, so I don't give a shit. All right, hurts me tremendously. People need to go and like it. But
You heard
I
him.
I bet you I could get someone to say the name Trump. All I'd have to do is go. I can make an original tweet, maybe get a picture to help do something along it, and say something bad about Hillary and Biden and why people think this way. Guarantee you the first freaking comment, if it's against it, will have Trump's name in it.
Of course.
It within seconds. It people are so bent out of shape about it that they don't hear reason. It could actually be something that's true too, and maybe they just took it um as mean. It it's amazing how often somebody from the left will like a Democrat will, and it says Democrat in their thing, so I know they're a Democrat. They're lying, I guess. So they're a Democrat, and it's amazing how often they'll make a tweet, and I'm actually kind of curious about it. Going, okay, where did they get the records for this or something? So I won't just go on there and go, give me the fucking source. I'll get on there and I'll say no sarcasm, honestly curious about what you're saying. Could you let me know what you're talking about or where you got it or something like that? And it's amazing how often that's just crickets. Or they come back and go,
Of course.
"Oh, look it up yourself." And then I type because I actually do want to know, so I will type back and go, "No, I'm not trying to be a dink. I actually want to know what you're talking about." Well, you can find
Okay.
it. Just Google it.
No bullshit. Tell me where you found it, and I'll go see it.
Yeah, I mean, generally before I ask that question, I do a search.
I'm not the one making the point. You are. So why don't you tell me where that comes from? Well, you pulled it out of your asshole. Okay, I get it.
Well, my favorite's when you say something then they spout something else off that really isn't exactly what you're talking about even, but it's close enough. So you respond and go, "Well, where's your evidence of that?" So they send you a bullshit article, and you're like, "That's bullshit. It's the per
From
capita thing
BuzzFeed.
or something." And they're like, "Well, where's your source?" And I'm like, well, I wasn't planning on getting in a conversation with you, but here's how you can do it. So the one person I got into it, I'm like, here's the CDC's website about gun violence. Now here's the link to everything. You got to go to each one of the states, take their total, find their accidental deaths, their suicidal deaths, subtract it off of there, and then there's your answer. And he's just like, oh, you couldn't provide anything. I'm like, there is nothing to provide. Everything's per capita. But here's the information. I wasn't about to do 50 states worth of math for him. It but he refused to look at it. And then he wanted to argue with me. I'm okay with him refusing to look at it, but stop arguing with me. Do you fall asleep?
No, I'm just trying to figure out something.
About me or something
No,
else?
no, 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 something else.
I'm a little worried to ask what it is.
No, I'm just trying to figure out what you were just talking about. The math of the gun stuff.
So, okay, so per capita is bullshit. One of the reasons why is the reports are always per capita, and the reports always include accidental and suicidal gun deaths
Yeah.
because it's a gun death. It really is. But my conversation was about violence and not about gun deaths, and it didn't.
Well, suicide is going to be a violent death no matter how you do it. So,
Sure, but it's not person on person violence,
I
and
understand.
that's what my conversation was about. It wasn't even fully about guns. It was just violence. My comment was blue states are some of the most violent states there are. It
Well, I mean,
it, it
you
wasn't
could find the numbers on that.
it wasn't specific about guns. It was just but of course everything they pick what they want to pick because they think they have an argument on it. So I was the first freaking article he sends me on it when I say bullshit is per capita. Second one, third one, each one was had per capita in it. And even the CDC that I sent him to go do his thing, even that one says things aren't certain and accurate because even that had per capita. And what I should have told him, but I just got sick of arguing with him because at a certain point, it doesn't matter what you
It's
say.
over. Yeah, you're not
Yeah,
gonna.
but it's kind of like like in say Wisconsin has two people living in it, and one of the people shoot himself. You now have a 50% gun death, but it wasn't violent. You're still at zero for violent in the aspect I was talking. Then you have Chicago who has 10, and they have three violent deaths, killing.
Yeah,
which is not unreasonable because they probably had it while I was trying to say it. And
at
so
least.
so they're now at 33% deaths, but Wisconsin's at 50. So sure, on the report it looks like Wisconsin's more violent,
Yeah.
but it's not. And that's where the per capita thing, they use these per capita numbers, and I'm like, that's bullshit numbers. You have a densely populated area. You have so many more deaths, but because of your dense population, it looks like a smaller percentage. Now, that's great to say, hey, we have all these people, and these people aren't dying, but the facts are you have overall more violence.
Hey, no
And,
one will ever massage numbers to work for their own thing as Democrats will. They did it for COVID for 2 years.
well, that's true. Yeah. And they used a lot of per capita in that, too.
Well,
Chicago
they also
did that.
use, hey, that guy got run over by a goddamn train, but we took some splatter that was left of him, and he had COVID, so that's a COVID death.
When they came out, so that was a bannable offense at one time. Hell, it probably still is. They've come out and actually admitted to that.
Oh, of course, but again, there's no outrage, there's no demanding. What are the real numbers?
Well, and there's another thing. There's another per capita. They'll say New York, oh, we only had a 25% COVID death rate. Wisconsin, they had a 30%. It was 5% higher. Yeah, our whole state has the population of one of your cities. It's not a real
Yeah,
good comparison here. That's why I hate per capita. Per capita has a place, but for the most part, it should never be used in any kind of like death scenario because it's a massaging stat. You can massage it to make it do whatever you want.
life has a 100% mortality rate.
Well, that's true. Well, I'm gonna live forever. That's my curse.
Okay, that's your curse.
Yeah, it's not a good thing.
I don't know. Sometimes you gotta wonder.
Yeah, it's it's funny. I actually think about that stuff sometimes. Like Deadpool, he's kind of screwed when it's all just gone.
Well, Logan too. That was his thing.
Yeah, I mean, human life as we know it will be gone long before the sun engulfs it. It
Well, see, that's another thing about immortality. If the sun explodes the Earth, does that end for you, or you just float in space?
well, it depends. If you look at how Deadpool kills Marvel, he blows up Logan, so therefore he can be killed by being blown up. I would assume being
But
engulfed by the sun could kill him too.
did I kill Deadpool too?
I would think so because isn't Deadpool's thing is as long as he has one microcell left, he can regenerate. But if you get engulfed by the sun, I mean, that's disintegration. I mean, I would assume he wouldn't make it. That's
Well,
hot
that's
enough to ash your bones even, and that's really hard to do.
okay. Well, I was just
Theory,
wondering. Sure.
working theory.
Well, until we find an immortal guy and ask him, hey,
Yeah, I got a feeling though if we find him and he knows the answer and he can die, he's not going to answer. It
oh, it's that whole thing where you're like, am I disarming you? So what's your kryptonite bow?
yeah
Uh, what could kill you? Should I cut off your head, or what's going on? Well, actually, it turns out it's saffron. Wait a second.
yeah.
Why do you want to know? Oh, I'm just curious. I'm just making conversation.
What is what movie is it? I think it's The Incredibles. He's like, "You caught me monologuing," or something like. I don't know why I
Yep, that was
thought of
yeah,
that
that was
just
a
now.
because it was Jason Lee.
That was Jason
Syndrome.
Lee.
Jason Lee voiced Syndrome in the
Oh,
first.
he did. And you know what the weird thing is? I did know that, but I didn't know it till about a month ago. I was watching a Jason Lee interview on. He was talking about My Name Is Earl, and I'm like, I need to find out why this ended. And so I turned it on, and that came on. I paused because I'm like, we really went hardcore on politics and we just went off it, and I'm wondering if it should be ended.
Well,
Um,
if you want to, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Let's stop this.
Stay
Oh,
tuned for the Jason Lee conversation.
yeah, the new Evil Dead Ash. Here we go.